families with kids. The school system may be completely different to what you are used to in your home country, so it is important to learn about it in advance if you are coming with kids. The latest government site provides tons of information for parents and has a searchable database depending on the location you are planning to move in. As a first step, I would recommend starting here. Plenty of useful data on childcare centers, their ratings, and you can also find a fee estimator. Various states and territories have different early learning programs, and naming of these educational services might vary too. Hence, there is no unique, one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to childcare. Don't worry if it sounds confusing at the beginning. When you know where you will first settle, search services in that particular state and suburbs. School types. The following table summarizes some key terms and provides a high-level overview to understand your options. Operational hours and costs vary center by center. Consider this as a high-level guide. The table gives you the type of childcare and schools like daycare, family daycare, preschool, primary school, and high school. The age of the children who attend these schools, whether you can have a public or a private option, the operational hours, the estimated costs, and some additional comments. If you are working full-time or studying and working part-time, you will probably need some help with your kids. Unless you take grandparents with you on the adventure or have other relatives who can help, there are childcare centers available across the country. However, there are never enough facilities of these services, and there is usually a long waiting list to get in. Savvy and future-thinking parents already put their child's name or join a list on a few waiting lists when the offspring is born. I would advise to start searching for childcare options right after you have an aspiration or even just slightly decided to move to Australia. It may take up to 2 years before you can get in. There could be more chances in family daycare than in long daycare. Preschools prepare children for school years, also have lengthy wait lists, and they usually restrict how many days your kids can attend. Depending on the age, it could be 2 or 3 days per week. Don't be surprised that you even have to pay a waitlist fee between $25 to $50. If you get notified about the length of waiting, and if you cannot wait that long, then it is recommended to move on to the next option close by and apply for multiple centers, until you can find one that is available within the required time frame. I know it sounds crazy, but it is what it is. While childcare and preschool or kindy are optional, it is mandatory in Australia to enroll children in school by the time they reach their 6th birthday and stay in the system until the minimum age of 16. You also need to understand the school catchment system. You must live within the catchment zone to enroll your kid if you choose a public school. An example of the catchment zones and schools is illustrated by the New South Wales government website. This is for New South Wales only. Private schools offer more flexibility, and you may live outside the zone and your child is accepted. Bear in mind that there are hefty fees if you opt for the private system. School fees and eligibility for government support. How can I get financial assistance? Depending on your visa type, you may be eligible for government support or fee exemption. If you're studying on a government sponsorship or you are on a permanent or special provisions visa, you could be eligible for financial support. Services Australia has an eligibility checker and other useful information about your entitlements. The maximum support the government pays towards childcare is 85% of the fee, and it is paid directly to the childcare service provider. This website will give you all the details you need. Regarding preschool, primary and secondary education, if a student below 18 is enrolled in some form of education in New South Wales, as an example, they pay temporary resident education fee. The next illustration shows the fees temporary resident students need to pay. If you are an international student and you have a dependent child or children, the next table shows visa types and support conditions. Education fees do not include books, uniforms, excursions, special school contributions, charity or voluntary contributions, stationery, computers, sport clubs, tutoring, before and after school service sessions. There are many exemptions from paying these fees, like being on a government-supported exchange program, scholarships, hospital schools, low income, and many more. The best is to seek advice from the school that you or children plan to attend, and they can help you lower or optimize the fees. Rules and financial assistance options are different state by state. Again, this is not something that is unified, unfortunately. New South Wales tends to be among the more expensive states when it comes to fees for the children or international students. But it is good to see these maximum costs, and if the other state requires lower tuition fees, that can only help with your budget. The Study Australia government website collected all links and essential information by state. In Queensland, if you receive specific scholarships or if you are a New Zealand citizen, you can be exempt from paying any tuition fees. If you are on a PR, permanent residency visa, then you pay similar school fees in public institutions as Australian citizens. While the annual fee is low, don't forget to calculate the additional expenses you need to fork out as a parent for all the extras, like excursions, extra activities, charities, uniforms, and other tools the schools require that parents to purchase. The below table illustrates what you can expect to spend per school year in the public system. As you can see, for preschool, you can calculate over $2,500, for primary school, over $3,000, and secondary school, over $4,000 easily. I understand you may be a bit confused now. So many rules and so many variations. Let's look at 3 examples to create some clarity. Example 1. Andreas and Heike. Andreas and Heike arrived in Australia on a PR visa with their 4-year-old child, Rudy. Andreas has a qualification as an electrical engineer, while Heike is a logistics professional. She always worked in freight forwarding. None of them had a job when they arrived. Their plan was to find full-time employment for both of them and enroll Rudy in preschool for 5 days a week. Soon they learned that the maximum days possible in preschool for Rudy were 3 days. For the rest of the week, he could attend childcare either in a center or in a family care. They applied for 6 preschools and they were rejected by 4 of them immediately due to the long wait time. 2 preschools put them on a waiting list. While they were both looking for a job, they put Rudy in public daycare for 2 days for $122 per day. That offers preschool as well. They are eligible for maximum hours of government subsidy. The fee supported by the government is paid directly to the childcare center. There is a Centrelink calculator, and after filling in at least 50 questions and all details, it spits out if you are eligible for the support, and if yes, how much. As you can see, in this case, Rudy goes to childcare 2 days a week which is a cost of $244. The government supports $84 per week, so the parents have an out-of-pocket cost of $160 per week. This is a guide only and not a guaranteed payment. As soon as their circumstances change, they need to report it to Centrelink and a new calculation will be done. Example 2. Amy and her daughter Lila, who is 7 years old. Amy enrolled in a university in New South Wales to study architecture, and she brought her 7-year-old daughter with her. Amy is on a student visa, subclass 500. She's permitted to work 24 hours per week besides her studies. She's a single mother. Lila will start primary school in Australia. Amy will need to fork out $9,800 per school year for Lila. However, as she's a single parent, she can apply for fee exemption based on low income. Every application is assessed case by case. Example 3. Jorge, Medi, and Joe. Jorge was accepted to study his doctorate degree in cybersecurity in New South Wales. He's bringing his wife Medi and their 6-year-old daughter Joe to Australia. Jorge is not receiving any university scholarship, he is funding his studies. As he is enrolled in a doctorate degree, he is exempt from paying education fee for his daughter when she starts primary school. They do need to pay the enrollment fee. For little Joe, this is usually a small amount, like $120 per school year. As the examples illustrate, there is no shortage of rules and policies regarding education fees and support. If you are coming on a student visa, educational institutions have advisory services and help navigate and fill in applications for fee subsidy or exemption. If you arrive on a PR or other visas, the best source is Centrelink. You can inquire there when you are here, and their helpful customer service will provide the latest advice and guide you to the best support options, taking your circumstances into account.